Time now for Sid 6-0. So we're at 60 seconds to talk. Start the clock, please. Here's what's on my mind this morning. I only need 2 words to describe the Jays' weekend series in Boston. Perfect. Nothing went wrong. They swept the Red Sox, and what happened Friday was the tone setter. Jays won 28-5. You heard me right. They won 28-5. Most runs Toronto's ever scored in a single game. That's also the most runs Boston's ever allowed in a single game. And I'll remind you that when the Red Sox began playing professional baseball, airplanes and radio hadn't been invented yet. Raimel Tapia's inside the park grand slam, which you just saw, was the craziest moment of Friday evening. Boston couldn't recover. On a more serious note, I would also like to acknowledge that this weekend marked the return of Jays first base coach Mark Budzinski. He had to miss time after the tragic death of his 17-year-old daughter, Julia, who passed away after a tragic tubing accident. Wins and losses are important, we know this, but seeing Mark back was, for me, the most important moment of the weekend, and it was great to see. Ben Nicholson-Smith of Sportsnet joining us. Ben, what a weekend on every front. I'll let you start anywhere. There was a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I think anytime that you're scoring dozens of runs, I mean, I looked up at one point, they're up 15-3, whatever it was. Then they keep adding 10 more runs. To me, it's a sign that this offense is where it needs to be. And that's really important for this team as they move ahead.
So John Schneider, it wasn't that long ago where Charlie Montoyo was fired. I want to remind everyone that happened. And John Schneider's now running the team. He is now 7-1 as manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. Ben, what do you pull from that statistic?
Well, they have been facing a very forgiving schedule, and they've taken advantage of it, right?
True. It's true.
To face the Royals when they were basically a shell of themselves, a shell of a bad team, mind you, that was a good start for Schneider. And again, they did what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat bad teams. They did it. The Red Sox are nowhere near as good as the Blue Jays. I mean, the Jays clearly the better team, and the Jays beat them. So now they have to keep doing that against the Cardinals and the Tigers. The Jays are better than both those teams, too.
Trade deadline is a week tomorrow, believe it or not. And Juan Soto, one of the best young players in the game, his name is out there. I'm not suggesting they get Soto. That's going to be a ridiculous deal if they have to make it. But considering how they're playing right now, considering they are the #1 wild card team in the American League, the Jays. They're 10 games above 500. What do you do if you're Ross Atkins here? How busy are you a week from tomorrow or earlier?
They will be very busy. I think there's no doubt about that. They have clear needs. They need pitching. They need relief pitching. They could use some starting pitching, too, just to help them get to October and get through the next couple of months. But from what I'm told, they'll be aggressive. They'll be out there looking to add. I fully expect that they will be a different team a week from tomorrow than they are today with some more pitching. And that's really what they need. That's the thing that, when you're scoring, 25 or 30 runs a night, you probably don't need as much pitching. But we know there are going to be times that score is closer. They're going to need some relievers. And I expect that they'll be adding in the next week.
One of the more significant things we did see over the weekend was Vladimir Guerrero Jr., another 4-hit day yesterday. Look, everyone's hitting right now except for Bo Bichette, really. Everyone seems to be hitting. But if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is doing that kind of production at the plate, giving you that type of production, changes everything, doesn't it, Ben?
It does. To me, he's the real key to this whole team. I think that when you look at what he was able to do last year as the runner-up to Shohei Ohtani in the MVP race, we saw this guy is a game changer. And he's been good this year. He's an all-star, deservedly so, but he hasn't been quite at that game-changing level. And we've seen flashes, including this weekend, of what that can look like. So to me, that's a huge variable. Vladdy's a central figure in everything this team is trying to do.
Jays are off tonight. They begin a 2-game series tomorrow against St. Louis. FYI, 2 of St. Louis's best hitters are not making the trip. They cannot cross the border because they think they're doctors and smarter than everyone else. Vaccines. Ben, have a great day. We appreciate you. This will be fun. Take care, brother.